Intelligent design is an abductive scientific inference, the foundation of scientific reasoning. Intelligent design, ID, is sometimes misunderstood as an argument by analogy, a reasoning approach that simply compares natural systems to human-made artifacts and concludes design based on similarity. However, this is a mischaracterization. ID relies on abductive inference to the best explanation, a foundational mode of reasoning not only in philosophy but also in all scientific inquiry. Abductive inference evaluates multiple explanations to identify the one that best accounts for the observed data. If we dismiss abductive inference to avoid the implications of ID, we undermine the very basis of scientific reasoning, as all fields of science rely on this method to infer causes behind observable effects. 1. Abductive inference, the core of scientific reasoning. Abductive inference, or inference to the best explanation, is a logical method that involves examining observed phenomena and considering the various possible causes. Rather than starting with an assumed outcome, it allows the data itself to guide the conclusion by favoring the most plausible and coherent explanation. This type of reasoning is central to scientific discovery. Observation. Scientists begin with empirical data or observed phenomena, such as patterns, structures, or behaviors. Hypothesis formation. They propose various hypotheses to explain the phenomena. Evaluation of hypotheses. Each hypothesis is evaluated based on how well it explains the data, its consistency with known facts, and its explanatory power. Inference to the best explanation. The hypothesis that best accounts for all observations with the least amount of contradiction is chosen as the most probable explanation. For example, when scientists detect certain patterns of gravitational pull and unusual movement in space, they infer the presence of unseen objects, like dark matter, to explain the observed gravitational effects. They cannot see dark matter directly, but abductive inference makes it the best explanation for the evidence. The same logic applies to fields like geology, where unseen historical events, like volcanic eruptions or tectonic shifts, are inferred based on present-day geological formations. 2. Intelligent design as an abductive inference, not analogy. Intelligent design does not merely argue that biological systems are like human-made machines. Instead, it observes specific features in biological systems, such as complex, functionally specified information and irreducible complexity, and considers various potential explanations. These features, like the highly specific sequences in DNA or the interdependent components in cellular machines, require explanations beyond what chance or natural laws alone can reasonably account for. The reasoning structure of ID mirrors the abductive process used in other sciences. Observation. ID begins with the empirical data, such as the information-rich sequences in DNA and the irreducibly complex structures found in molecular machines. Possible explanations. Several explanations are evaluated, including chance, necessity, natural law, and intelligent causation. Evaluation of explanations. The limitations of chance and natural laws are weighed against the known capabilities of intelligent agents, such as their ability to generate specified information. Conclusion. Based on the explanatory power and probability of each explanation, ID infers that an intelligent cause is the best explanation for the presence of complex, functional systems in biology. This process is abductive, not analogical. ID does not merely compare biological systems to human artifacts but assesses possible causes for the information and complexity found in nature, concluding that intelligence is the most plausible cause. The inference to design is based on known cause and effect relationships and the limitations of alternative explanations. 3. Dismissing abductive inference undermines all scientific reasoning. If we reject abductive inference simply to avoid its implications, we lose a fundamental tool in science. Abductive reasoning allows science to draw conclusions about events or entities that cannot be directly observed. For instance, in archaeology, when archaeologists find an artifact, they infer an intelligent creator, like an ancient civilization, even if they have no direct record of the individuals responsible. This conclusion is based on the features of the artifact itself, its purposeful arrangement and functional design. In forensics, forensic scientists infer causes based on evidence left at a crime scene, identifying suspects and reconstructing events based on patterns that best explain the data. In astronomy, the detection of exoplanets is often inferred from the gravitational effects on nearby stars or subtle dips in light, even though the planets cannot be directly observed. If we were to dismiss abductive reasoning, scientists would be unable to make any reasonable inferences about unseen causes. This would effectively halt the scientific process, as many scientific conclusions depend on inferring causes that cannot be directly observed but are the best explanation for the evidence. 4. The inference to design based on known causes. Abductive inference in ID is grounded in our consistent observation that certain effects, complex information, purpose-driven arrangement, and irreducible complexity are always associated with intelligence. When we see these features in artifacts like computers, software, or engineering systems, we attribute them to intelligent causes. Likewise, when we observe complex, functional information in DNA or irreducible complexity in molecular machines, it is rational to conclude that intelligence is the most probable cause. This inference is not based on blind analogy but on empirical cause and effect knowledge. We know from experience that complex, specified information and purpose-driven systems do not arise from random processes or natural laws alone. Intelligence is the only known cause capable of producing such effects. For instance, when a computer code is found with intricate, functional instructions, we infer an intelligent programmer behind it. Similarly, the DNA code, which contains vast amounts of specific instructions for cellular functions, suggests an intelligent source. Rejecting this inference is not scientifically neutral. It is an exclusion of a viable explanation solely based on non-empirical bias against intelligent causation. 5. Conclusion. Abductive inference to intelligent design is rational and foundational. Intelligent design is not merely an analogy to human artifacts but an abductive inference to the best explanation, aligning with the standard reasoning employed in all sciences. It starts with observable data, complex, functionally specified information and irreducibly complex structures, and evaluates multiple explanations. After assessing the limitations of chance and necessity, ID concludes that intelligence is the most plausible cause. This process is not only rational but also foundational to scientific inquiry. If we reject abductive inference to avoid the implications of ID, we undermine the very method by which science draws its conclusions. Abductive reasoning allows scientists to infer causes for phenomena that cannot be directly observed, making it an indispensable tool in fields as varied as archaeology, forensics, and cosmology. Embracing this reasoning in ID aligns with established scientific methodology, where the goal is to identify the most coherent, probable cause based on the evidence. The inference to design in ID is rooted in empirical observation and known causative principles. It is a reasoned, abductive conclusion based on the evidence, not a leap of faith or a reliance on analogy. Recognizing this preserves the integrity of scientific reasoning and allows us to follow the evidence wherever it may lead, including to the possibility of an intelligent cause behind the specified complexity in life. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and comment below if you agree or would like to add your thoughts. If you would like me to respond to your comment, please make a level 1 comment directly below the video. I will respond to all polite level 1 comments even if it takes me a while, due to other commitments.